Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Praetorian.
And Jynx here.
And welcome back to the infectious madness of Dr. Dekker. So, we left off here. I don't remember how we had done on getting everybody to green, but this is who I got to green so far, guys. Bryce, I'm pretty sure we already had Jasmine and Lacey to green, and Nathan's on green as well.
We're ready to move on to a new day.
Yeah, we're going to move to the new day. However, there were a couple key things that I wanted to show you guys that I thought were kind of important to the story here, and that's this charity here.
Hannah was forever giving to charity. Her things, her time, our money. I actually suggested a charity that Dr. Dekker mentioned called Mind Stretch Outreach.
And I don't think you guys saw this. I could be wrong.
No, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, this is all stuff I think I revealed when I was getting him to green.
Mind Stretch Outreach arranges programs for gifted children. It's for poor, clever kids who can't afford private education. It's not much of a charity, I guess, but it certainly ends up with a lot of clever people who are thankful to the people running it. Which, in this case, is Dr. Dekker.
What?
Yeah, it's kind of important. So did Dekker ever meet Hannah?
Hannah never met Dr. Dekker. She did donate to his charity once, though.
Which we had just found out.
I think Dr. Dekker set up Mind Stretch Outreach so that he could influence the minds of children at an early age, getting them to believe they could be anything they wanted to be. Since his death, it's been disbanded. No more minions of Dr. Dekker.
Yeah, that sounds creepy as shit.
Yeah.
It just felt like he was growing this child army of intelligentsia.
All right, so that's the interesting part about from what we learned here from Nathan. And then I also wanted to show you guys Jaya's as well. A few interesting things here, some creepy things as well. So,
nobody likes chaos, Doctor. We're supposed to be restoring order, don't you think?
okay, it wasn't that one. I think it was this one.
This practice is owned by a trust. They make all the money and leave me to make all the decisions, which generally means making lots of money. I headhunted Dr. Dekker. And you?
Okay.
Yeah.
I've recruited the last 5 doctors since I've been here. Now, I've got a flair for recognizing the extraordinary. Both you and Dr. Dekker were extraordinary.
All right, and then
Both Cambridge graduates, both top of the class, both pliable, obedient slaves to my every whim. Yeah, that last one's more of a hope than a must-have attribute.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought those were key to kind of the characters. I thought we should listen to those
yeah,
ones.
like what happened to the other 3?
Yeah, what happened there? That'd be nice to know. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next day. I think that's all we need to know for this one.
David Hunt.
I can change my skin.
Then skins.
Dr. Dekker dated his patients.
I had a hot date.
We went out for drinks.
I took photos of Jessica.
Dr. Dekker did phone
On Valentine's Day.
and ask me for Nathan's number.
There was a girl there.
Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't
He
I?
was preoccupied with finding
Photographs.
patterns.
Rocking chair.
I haven't been back to the beach since
I had a bit of a shaky loop incident.
where I find something
I set fire
beautiful in the sea.
to Hannah's clothes in the garden.
I dug the grave.
I wish I'd said goodbye.
Dr. Dekker cursed me.
It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it.
Oh, Doctor, you surprised me. Reminds me of Officer Yates. Did I ever mention I had a special friend in the police force? Nah, it's not something you drop politely into a conversation. He's been doing some digging and he's found a couple things. There's a crime scene report that goes into all the gory details and another report that's about a patient you're seeing today, Claire. I'll put them both on the desk for you. And thanks for the grief counselling, by the way. It's really been helping, you know, I'm so glad you're here.
She just gave us a hug.
She's a hugger.
Mm-hmm. So Act 3 spiked. That was a long-ass hug.
I would say that's inappropriate.
I would
for
as
the
well. Yeah,
workplace.
I agree. So one other thing I wanted to add, we've been talking this whole time about when he died, because that was kind of important information for our investigation. What were you saying? What time did you say you thought he died?
I was thinking midnight, but whatever you were saying was right.
I was saying midnight.
Oh.
I thought you were saying something else.
I thought you had said like 10 after 10 or something.
Well, it was 10 something, so that's the time. So it wasn't midnight. It looks like we don't actually have to ask the Professor Warwick guy anything. Where is he at? Oh, he's over there, messing with her.
Digging through her shit.
So we haven't met him yet. We got Jaya, we got Bryce, we got Claire, we got, Elin? Mariana and Nathan. So the 2 new ones we got last time, they're no longer here. Okay, but we have all of our originals still. So I think we should start with a new person, because why not? Why would we not want to? Though I am interested in seeing Claire's stuff. We'll look at that before we talk to Claire. That would make more sense to look at that before we chit-chat with her. Claire killed David. What? Hold up. Now we got to look at it. Hold up. Arrest report. Statement of Christian Weber, police officer. This is bright as fuck.
Yeah, it is. I'm quite blind.
All right, so we're going to take turns reading this. We each read a paragraph.
All right.
At 40 hours on Tuesday, 8th of November, myself and PC 9725 Holt, I guess that's patrol, I have no idea what that is, responded to a call received from a neighbor of the Bower House, Weston Park Avenue, concerned a reported disturbance. We arrived at the address, knocked on the front door, but there was no reply. We then examined the rear of the apartment and gained entry or property. I said apartment.
Like a doctor.
The rear of the property and gained entry through insecure patio doors. We entered the property through this door, and I announced myself by shouting police, but did not hear any response.
We searched the premises. Upon entering the dining room, I saw a female seated next to a man who was lying on the ground. The man did not appear to be conscious. Both persons were drenched in blood, and there was a substantial amount of blood on the carpet, walls, and furniture. I noted what appeared to be a steak knife on the floor, which was also covered in blood. At this point, I asked the woman to put her hands on her head, which she did. PC Holt secured the female while I checked the man for signs of life, but found none. I asked the woman her name, and she identified herself to me as Claire Castleford. I asked if she knew the dead man, and she said he was her husband, David Castleford. I asked what had happened, and she said that she had killed him.
Following a search by PC Holt, which revealed no other persons present in the house, I said to Castleford at 28:52 hours, "You are under arrest on suspicion of murder." I then cautioned her and placed her in the back of the police car for transportation. Okay, got it. Can't move down or anything. This is all this important. The important thing we need to know here is that she killed him, which is not what she fucking told us. And I can't leave it either. There we go. So then we want to look at the crime scene report as well. Victim was located. Okay, is this for Dekker? Yeah, this is for Dekker. The victim was located in his office, seated on a chair behind the desk, soaked in blood with an obvious chest wound. Paper spike, which is a desk accessory, 150 millimeters long, protruding from the approximate region of the victim's heart. Time of death estimated from liver temperature measurements to be between 8:30 and 10:30 p.m. on 14/02/17. This is 2017. This was not that long ago, guys. Note that the victim's body was reportedly discovered at 10:20 p.m. on 14/02/2017. Cause of death was basically
exsanguination.
The punctuation there. All right, so I think they're trying to make us like believe that Claire
could do it,
which makes me think that she's not the person, because that'd be too obvious. That they give us, hey, she killed this dude, and hey, Dekker died similar.
It's like she likes stabbing people.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll find out, guys. Let's go and talk to Professor Warwick. Although I'm not getting any. Interesting. Oh, okay, it's the wrong button. That's why. I'm just an idiot. So, who are you?
Professor Warwick. I'm a physicist. Where's Dr. Dekker?
Like, he's dead, bitch.
So these people here, I don't think they're all that important. They're just kind of people that just come through. I don't think they're just a little added flavor, or maybe they play a bigger role normal in other ones, because we don't know if they pick random people for you to see.
Well, it does seem like some of them like link characters together.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not important. What I'm just saying is that they're not as important as the other 5 characters. I don't think they can be a suspect because you just don't see them very much.
Is he really? Actually dead? Not a worthy adversary after all, then.
Well, that's a dickhead response to that information.
Dr. Dekker challenged me. He tried to use my theories against me. Quantum theories.
It seemed like he thought he was
Do you really want to know?
great.
Dekker's eyes used to glaze over whenever we talked about that. He didn't believe in quantum physics. As if it's something that you can optionally believe in. Well, it started with an experiment.
I'm in that same boat, guys. I don't like quantum physics. I don't think it just, some of it, yeah, maybe some of it has some credence or whatever, but the majority of it sounds like a bunch of fucking bullshit. And just a bunch of made up shit. Like, it's no different than me just jotting stuff down in a notebook that I thought of when I was drunk or something. I mean, it's not.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, sure. I get. Well, anything's not possible. That's not even a real statement. People say that anything's possible. Well, no, there's a lot of shit that's not possible. But yeah, I don't know. I've watched that video. I don't know if you ever watched that documentary. It's like I don't know, like What the Fuck Down the Rabbit Hole or some shit like that.
No.
Yeah, it was about quantum physics. There's 2 of them, and somebody recommended to me, like, oh, you got to watch this. You will believe in quantum physics if you watch these documentaries. So I did, and they were terrible. I didn't like them at all. It just made me hate quantum physics more because it wasted that much time of my life. So what was the experiment, Mr. Warwick?
Have you heard of quantum suicide, Doctor?
No.
No, I don't think I have heard of that, actually. I might have heard of it, but I didn't put a special place in my brain to actually remember it.
Quantum suicide is a thought experiment that tries to explain the many worlds theory. You're looking at me blankly. I can see that you don't understand. I knew you wouldn't. Alternate universes. Essentially, if I were to shoot myself, then in some alternate universe, I'd still be alive. Now imagine if I could actually choose that universe. I'm taking a product off a supermarket shelf. Well, I simply applied that logic to something different.
Well, that does sound stupid.
Yeah, a lot of quantum physics shit sounds stupid.
Gambling. I set up an experiment whereby I would visit a casino and place a very large bet at a roulette table. Now, I would always bet on odd. Now, the results of this particular experiment were mundane. I won as many times as you would expect according to the laws of probability. But then, I changed a parameter.
What did you change it to?
I'm intrigued. All right, what'd you change it to? I guess we can ask him why gambling first.
Why not gambling? My wife Vanessa left me for a neurosurgeon. She emptied our entire combined wealth into her barrister's wallet. I needed more money. Physics provided me with a solution.
You don't have like a job?
We'll talk about his wife later.
Quantum suicide required a loss of life to make it a realistic thought experiment. So I simply upped the stakes. Now, every time I bet on odd, I would place everything I had on that one spin of the wheel, and it worked. Well, for a while.
I'm gonna take a wild guess he fucking blew his whole wad on this one.
Dr. Dekker killed it, and I can't get it back.
Well, okay then.
So he did kill Dekker.
Well, my theory, quantum gambling. If the stakes are high enough, you will win every time by simply shifting your consciousness into that branch that wins. It's tricky, but it can be done. Dr. Dekker didn't like that. He saw me becoming rich and powerful, and he hated that. That's why he proffered the hangman's paradox.
Okay.
Because he's a rich and powerful guy.
Yeah. All right.
That's why your wife left you for a neurosurgeon.
Yeah. It's all about who's got the most money.
Well, imagine a judge sentences you to death. Now, it will be Monday or Tuesday next week. But it will be a surprise. Well, which day do you think you'll be executed?
On Monday.
Yeah, I guess. Sure.
Well, Monday does seem likely, yes. Because if you're still alive on Monday at midnight, then Tuesday won't be a surprise. But if you're sure that it's Monday, then that won't be a surprise either, will it? Dekker tricked me.
Because Dekker was a clever girl. How did Dekker trick you?
He told me that sometime in the future I would lose a bet, that I would lose all of my money. Now, this didn't seem likely because I had quantum gambling on my side and it was working. But he unnerved me. He made me doubt myself. And then it happened. Recently, I lost everything that I'd managed to build up since Vanessa left me.
All right, so there's motive. Like I said, I really don't think that they'll make these little quick come and go people as the murderer, but, could be wrong. So why don't you tell me about your piece of shit wife?
We were married for 14 years, 7 months, and 3 days. Vanessa couldn't have children. At least that's what she told me. She grounded me in reality. I'm not complaining. It's probably what I needed. But part of me always thought that one day I'd achieve immortality through science. It wasn't to be, though.
I really shouldn't have
I
talked
know.
shit
I
about
was
her.
like, why are you calling her a piece of shit?
Yeah, well, I was just thinking because she left and took all the money and shit. That's a fucking asshole thing to do. But at the same time, this guy, yeah.
He's nuts.
Yeah, I guess I can see that a little bit. So, did it bother you that you couldn't have children?
Well, yes, it bothered me, especially now that I find out that she's pregnant. Oh, no, it wasn't a rocket scientist that was required, but a brain surgeon, it seems. I have considered putting that neurosurgeon onto his darkest timeline. But I'm not a killer, it would seem.
I don't know. You seem like you could be a killer.
That was not very
Don't
convincing.
underestimate yourself.
It wasn't convincing at all.
Honestly? Well, I think he feared quantum physics. He didn't like things being explained in terms of science, almost as if he'd have preferred chaos. I was at a fundraiser for a charity called Mind Stretch Outreach. Don't know how I got roped into that, I can't remember. But it was full of very clever children with bizarre outlooks on life. And Jaya. It was Jaya who asked me to go.
Apparently,
Okay.
people just do what Jaya tells them to.
Yeah, that's the way it seems. So I'm glad that I did show you guys the information on that charity because it has come up again here. I thought it might be important. We can ask about it, though we kind of already know what it is.
It's full of poor kids with very capable minds. I did give them a talk on quantum tunneling once, and they loved it. Not sure it'll put dinner on the table for any of them, though.
Okay. What's quantum tunneling? We gotta get the stupid green. I don't even want to ask them this.
Oh, you're going to have to Google that, Doctor, I'm afraid. I'm not a walking Wikipedia. I'd love to tell you, but I am paying you by the hour. Maybe look up Schrodinger's cat whilst you're there.
Okay.
We don't have access to Google.
That's one of the first people that actually didn't just run their fucking mouth about something other than like an issue of trust or whatever. He just didn't feel like talking about it. Okay. Or maybe they didn't want to pay the voice actor that much. to explain something so complicated.
Or the actor.
Oh, she's Dr. Dekker's lovely assistant. I imagine she's your lovely assistant now. Yeah, she always smiles and makes me a cup of tea before a session. That smile. Which reminds me, my session. Can we talk about my problem now?
That's right. We haven't gotten his issues yet. But yeah, I guess he is an actor. I'm so used to video games and I'm thinking voice actor, But yeah, these are actual actors. No, we're not going to talk about your tongue. We're going to talk to somebody else. Yeah, I guess we'll talk. What's your fucking problem? Why are you here today? Why are you paying us?
I'm not a gambler, Doctor. I'm a scientist. I need more money. It's true I've run out of money for my research. An opportunity has arisen.
God, he keeps doing like annoying, gross things with his mouth.
Yeah, and I have a feeling he's about to ask us for money, too. He's about to ask us to invest into something.
It's a chance of a lifetime.
Yeah. What research?
Quantum gambling. It's a pet project. It's got nothing to do with work. But if I don't have significant amounts of money to lose, then there won't be enough jeopardy for the experiment to work.
Okay.
Do people fall for that?
I don't know.
A very wealthy group of individuals have offered to pay me a very large sum of money if I attend their next private soiree. They don't want to talk or anything like that. They want a practical demonstration.
Okay. So what's the issue? Because he doesn't, because quantum physics isn't real. So he can't actually show anybody it.
They'll pay me £1 million if I can successfully survive 6 rounds of Russian roulette. Now, I am worried because of what Dr. Dekker said, but, well, I can't help but thinking that the stakes are so high I can't possibly lose.
But
what do you think, Doctor? Should I take them up on their offer?
I thought he was done talking. But people die from Russian roulette all the time. The stakes are always incredibly high. So obviously this is complete fucking bullshit.
And I knew it was just a bunch of rich people who wanted to see someone die.
Somebody blow their fucking brains out. Obviously I'm going to tell them don't take the offer. This is stupid.
No, I suppose you're right. In a darker timeline, you probably said yes and I'm dead now. I earn good money where I work. How do I stop losing it?
I always wonder what he would have said if we had told him, like, yeah, do it. Just do it. We're just a fucked up doctor. There's supposed to be like some kind of insanity rating in the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where you can, I don't know what it means. I think you can like drive somebody insane or something.
Push them over the edge.
Yeah. And there's like trophies for it and stuff.
I take your point. But I suppose to decide whether to continue gambling or to stop gambling is a gamble within itself, isn't it? Well, my time is up. Will we be having another session or... No, don't answer that. It'll turn you into a gambler like me. Infectious. Isn't it?
You're a bit pretentious, I think.
Yeah, it's the first time we've heard. Oh, and he just leaves. We didn't get to finish asking him questions. That's the first time that's happened, too. Okay. So who do you want to talk to first, Jinx?
We should probably talk to Elin.
Why?
Or no, Claire.
Claire? Oh, yeah, I guess we should.
Yeah.
We just got all the information on her. Yeah, all right. Let's talk to Claire. Let's see what she's wearing today. All right. So,
how are you today?
Yeah, we'll start with
sharp objects
away. Yeah, we'll start with that.
I've been to the lake house regularly, keeping an eye on David. I saw the girl again, the one I told you about. She was playing outside.
Stay away from that girl.
fucking
monster.
Yeah, and she's still talking about David being alive and shit. So let's see what's going on here.
It makes for interesting reading, doesn't it? I can tell you're dying to ask me about it. Fire away.
Yeah, she got a little quirk there with the mouth.
Yeah, she didn't seem at all worried about it. The report says you were arrested for murder.
That's what it says. I can see you're confused. The police say that David is dead, fatally wounded when I stabbed him. The coroner says that David is dead. Everyone says that David is dead. There was even a funeral. But I know he's alive.
So this has taken quite the interesting turn, because she was, as weird as she was really the most normal of all the people that we had here. I mean, I don't know, maybe Mariana is. I don't know. But yeah, she wasn't a Bryce and she wasn't a Nathan. That's what we're getting at, or at least we thought. But apparently she sees dead people, guys. All right, well, we got to dig into this a bit more.
Or she has dead people. She probably dug him up.
And he's sitting in a chair somewhere in her house, just rotting. All right, do you intend to fatally... no, let's start with this.
He's buried at Henley Church. You can go see for yourself. There's even a headstone. One of your other patients was a pallbearer. I never forget her face. You should ask him.
Which patient?
I know, right?
Why didn't she give us this information earlier about him being dead, kind of, or whatever her interpretation of that is? Do you think that'd be something that you would you'd give? I am interested to see which patient was the pallbearer, though. It's got to be the Nathan.
My money's on Bryce.
Maybe, yeah.
Bryce was a pallbearer for David. He's also a gravedigger, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. He is the gravedigger, so... do you know Bryce?
Smuggling a body out of a funeral can be difficult. Unless you pay the right people.
Oh, she's a
So
weirdo.
that's how she got the body out. Yeah. All right, Bryce helped her.
Like, we're just
David
not going
wanted
to
have
ask
a talk
about
a
that.
relationship. Not something any married person wants to hear. He said he'd been with Iris for about a year and that he loved her. He said he didn't love me anymore, which I know is a lie. You don't just fall out of love with somebody. I reacted badly. I grabbed the nearest weapon I could find, which happened to be the steak knife, and stabbed him with it. There was so much blood. I instantly regretted it. So I fixed him.
Oh, okay.
So do tell.
Yeah. All right. Let's just go with this.
It was about a week later. I brought David back to life. Not with voodoo, not with virginal sacrifice. I just willed it to happen, and it did. Dr. Dekker told me it was possible, but only if you're not buried. He says once you're in the ground, there's no coming back. But until then, you have a chance at resurrection.
So Dekker told her this crazy ass shit?
Fucking Dekker.
All right, so did you resurrect David?
Yes, resurrection. But now that I've seen the results, I don't think there's anything holy about it. I think reanimation is more an accurate term. Like, I'm an evil necromancer raising things from the dead.
She probably turned him into a puppet.
Yeah, he came back not quite the way that he was. Some Pet Cemetery type shit. Your animals don't. It's not quite the animal you remember. All right, so what were the results of David's resurrection?
I think his brain was already decaying during the week that he was dead. Important bits. So when I brought him back to life, I didn't heal him completely. Just gave him life in the state he was in. I mean, he's hunting and killing things and trying to roast them on fires he can only light with matches, but that's about it. He's your basic Neanderthal. So I have a problem.
Well, that's some crazy ass shit. This is not where I thought the conversation with Claire was going to go
I
today.
know, right?
So what problem do you have?
I'm being charged with murder because the police don't know he's still alive, and I can't get David to vouch for me for obvious reasons. I think it would raise quite a few more questions than answers, which is why I'm hoping that you'd be able to help me.
Yeah, that was our air conditioner that just kicked on, guys. It's kind of loud as shit.
Because it's hot as shit.
It is hot as shit. What I was going to say, I remember what I was going to say. How is she not in jail for murder? That's what I was thinking, is how is she not in prison for murder? I guess she's just out on bail or something like that.
She's got money.
Yeah, she's got money, so they don't go straight to prison.
She's too pretty to go to prison.
Mm-hmm. So how can I help you, Claire?
Considering the circumstances, I'd be grateful if you could see your way to declaring me temporarily insane at the time of the murder, to lessen my sentence. Because I'm not a killer, but I can't prove otherwise. You don't still think I'm a killer, do you, Doctor?
Well, that's right. She was court ordered to be here.
Yeah. Well, she did kill somebody, so that makes her a killer. How should we address this, though?
Well, yeah, you're a fucking killer, but we don't want to die either.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, she is very much a killer. Or whatever, we'll just say this.
Thank you, Doctor. So then you'll help me. You'll say I was temporarily insane.
Like, I'll say
I
you're
didn't
all
say-
the way insane.
I didn't say all that. Yeah, it sounds like just somebody who's fucking jealous. That's not temporarily insane. Let's ask about the paper strike. Or paper spike, excuse me. I really thought it said strike. I was like, what paper strike? They got some socialist striking somewhere or something. No, it's the paper spike.
A paper spike is an odd thing to use as a weapon. I suppose if it went directly into the heart, it might work. Or through his eye, or perhaps through the ear and into his brain. Or was it just a frenzied, bloody mess of a murder? Do you know, Doctor?
Oh, Lord. Well, I think we know the answer to this one. I'm not going to declare her temporarily
no.
insane. First of all, she's jealous. Like, that's not, I mean, some people
She's a
could argue.
rich bitch.
Yeah.
Justice still needs to be served.
Needs to be served.
I'm going to pretend that I didn't hear that. Let's have a few more sessions before you seal our fates. Or is it that you want something else? Like Dr. Dekker did?
Oh, whoa. What did Dr. Dekker want?
He wanted some poontang.
I don't know. Dekker didn't seem like, I don't know. I think he seems like to mess with his patients more than Like, I don't think just pussy would be enough. He gets his satisfaction from fucking with people, I think.
Dr. Dekker teased me mercilessly about my alleged ability. He didn't believe I'd reanimated David. Once, he presented me with a dead mouse and commanded me to give it life again. I didn't, of course. It's not something I'd throw around lightly. He changed his mind about me eventually. And then he mentioned the girl.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so what girl did Dekker mention?
He told me he'd locked up a girl in the basement of his house. Just for me. And he asked me to reanimate her. It was Iris. I said I couldn't reanimate something that wasn't dead, and he said that wouldn't be a problem. So I agreed. I just played along. I was hoping it wasn't real. I assumed it wasn't real. But he was offering me what I wanted. A temporary insanity diagnosis.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this is going somewhere. Once you get to session 3, shit gets weird, guys. All right, so did you help Iris?
It didn't happen. Dr. Dekker called me from his house to cancel. He was furious. He said that Iris had escaped, and he blamed me for it. He said that I must have set her free after he told me about her. I knew it was all lies anyways. He was obviously titillating himself by reprimanding me. He knew I'd never want to speak to Iris again, so I couldn't prove it either way.
Alright, so Dr. Dekker's just fucked up the rest of his patients. That's the only thing that is not new news.
Dr. Dekker asked if I could prove David wasn't dead, so I took him to the lake house. He saw that I was telling the truth. I can take you to see him too, if you like. Would you like to see David, Doctor?
Yes.
Yeah, very much so.
I
think
kind
this
of
is-
would.
Yeah, yep.
I
Very
like
well.
freaky shit.
In our next session.
Oh, shit.
Alright, so yeah, we might be able to see David. We got her to yellow as well. We still have plenty of questions left to ask her. We've got a few minutes left of the episode, so we'll continue. And then, of course, I'm sure we have like a ton of follow-ups here as well. Yeah, there's a lot of them. All right. But we aren't going to be doing the follow-ups as much as we've been doing, guys, because we've got to make some progress in this because we've been crawling through this game. So how is the Popul's Day brought back to life? Are you lying about never seeing?
I'd ask about the girl.
All right, yeah. Did you speak to the girl at the lake house?
I didn't speak to her this time. Something about her made me feel uneasy. I just watched her from the bedroom window. She'd caught a fish. She was holding it in her hands.
And then what?
She's got skills.
I wasn't close enough to see, but for all intents and purposes, it looked as if the fish bit her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive.
What the fuck?
Claire is going off the deep end, man, on this session. We're really getting, you got to get to know her.
Is crazy.
You got to get to know her. That's what it is. So, as a possible day was brought back to life, are you lying about never seeing? All right, let's do this one.
You tell me. What could possibly explain that?
Ah, damn it. That's
We
an-
can't just ask her, like, what the fuck, Claire?
That's going to be one of those damn follow-ups where there's going to be like a million different options you have to go through to get her to green.
I assure you, David is not a ghost. I've touched him.
Oh, man. That I've touched him, the way she says it.
Desecrating corpses.
Yeah, is David not human? Question mark.
Since I brought him back, I felt that there was something different about him, something not quite right. I think it's his brain. But how ludicrous that you can bring someone back in the first place. It's like that book, Pet Cemetery. Funnily enough, he does smell of earth, but that's because he spends most of his time out hunting.
And so she brings up Pet Cemetery as well, though she brings up the book because she's more of a reader. I don't think I ever read the Pet Cemetery book. I believe it's Stephen King, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I've only seen the movie. I have read some Stephen King books, just not that particular one.
God, I used to read the shit out of some Stephen King
Yeah,
books.
I've read the shit out of some. The Stand is probably one of my favorite. Stand, is that what it's called? The Stand, right?
I think so.
I think it's called that. I could be
I
wrong.
like Desperation.
I don't think I read Desperation.
That one was fucking disgusting.
You know what really gross one? What was that one with the aliens and shit? God, it was like in Maine, like most of his books takes place. God, I don't remember. It's one of the biggest ones. Tommyknockers? Yeah, Tommyknockers, I think. Yes, it was the Tommyknockers. That was a gross ass fucking one as well. But yeah, the Stand one was pretty nasty too. Had some nasty parts. So are you lying about David being alive? I guess we can say
If
that.
David doesn't exist, then that means that I really did kill him. He really is buried, and I really should be going to prison for a very long time. That just doesn't seem right to me. It's more probable that I reanimated him under Dr. Dekker's guidance.
Of course.
That's the one that seems the most likely.
Totally probable.
All right, so this is the last question we're probably going to ask today, guys, and we're going to be ending the episode, but I'm really curious. Because, I do recall her saying that she didn't see Dekker outside of the session, so she lied.
How astute, Doctor. Yes, I did say I hadn't seen Dr. Dekker outside of our sessions. That wasn't a lie. Our trip to the lake house was made during a session.
Like what she wants to do with us.
She told you.
All right, so we went through all our questions. Now it's just follow-up questions, which there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's
I
a lot
don't
of them.
really want to talk
There's a lot
to
of 'em.
Claire anymore.
Yeah, this is getting kind of creepy and shit. But that is the end of the episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave that like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, tell us what you're thinking. Who do you think is the murderer? You might need to hear everybody else's third session because it seems like you learn a lot about them in the third session before we can really decide. You can accuse people, and you can falsely accuse too. There's actually a trophy for not falsely accusing anybody, as well as a trophy for not getting the insanity thing too high or whatever. So we're going to see if we can't get those in this playthrough, guys. But yeah, make sure you leave that comment, and hope to see you in the next one, and thanks for watching.